Okay, we are live.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Ricardo. I am from Chile, now living in Rosario, Argentina. I am working now with the team, the PayPal team. This is a presentation about Docker, what we have done with Docker, and some basic things about what you can do with Docker and how handle Docker. So first, I'm going to start with I'm not going to explain what is Docker because you can easily search on internet on Google and you are not going to find a clear definition because it's not what it is, it's what it does. That is the important thing. So I'm going to talk with you about the problem, what it solves. So basically, when you develop a software or a solution, you have many apps, many APIs, or many databases you are going to use. So probably sometimes you are going to use virtual machines, or you are going to use the same machine for everything. And this on the future is going to be a problem because if you don't control all these things together, you are going to have problems when you are going to deploy again, or if you need to change something. So basically, it's a problem you can solve with Docker. Also, if you have a lot of virtual machines, maybe these virtual machines are going to use more resources that maybe they should use. So Docker create a concept which is containers. And this concept which is container allow you to group some applications on little containers which are not virtual machines. That I'm going to be clear about what is the difference between virtual machines and containers. Containers are not virtual machines because they use what they need to use. If you're going to use Node, you just need the image of Node. You don't need to use an Ubuntu or a Linux container. You just need to use that specific library. Okay, so this is like the main architecture when you can find a host operating system, which with Docker make a lot of containers. Okay, these containers use a specific libraries that you declare to use. Okay. Instead, when you use virtual machines, you have different virtual machines for every solution or every app that you need. That is the main difference between virtual machines and Docker. Okay, so also you can use continuous integration. Is more than just containers. You can use continuous integration because Docker provides not only the solution about the containers, that also provides a hub where you can find many containers or many images of containers that you can use for make your custom container. So first you have a hub where you can find every solution. This is like an NPM for Docker. Okay, so just give me a second. Okay, so this you can use this is like an NPM. This NPM are downloaded as images, and these images you can convert it on containers. So if you have an SQL image, you can make a container 1 of SQL, container 2 of SQL, container 3 of SQL. Okay, so that's allow you to make many instances of that image, and if you want to delete something, you just don't need to delete the whole project. You can delete just one container. Okay, in the part of the client, you can use a remote API which provide a Docker, or you can use your line command in case you are using local. So in containers, okay, you have two ways to use containers. You can use local containers using the Docker file and the command build for local images, or you can pull an image for the Docker Hub that already mentioned. These images that you create are going to be containers which contain the final the app you are going to deploy, and the environment where it's going to deploy. That is one way, and there is another way you can use, which is Docker Compose, where you have a file, Docker Compose file, which allow you to create many services or many containers, and this is going to be deployed by the structures which are on the Docker Compose file, and they're going to deploy on your local machine as a containers. You have the images. These are going to be configured on your Docker Compose file, and these are going to create on different custom containers. Okay, so that is the way. Okay, so we are going to look some specific commands. Okay, so we are going to go to the terminal to see some of these commands, how they work and how you can use it for customize your Docker environment. Okay, it's yes. Yes, allow you to see which containers are running now. So if you can see here, I am running some containers about geofencing. I can see the ports they are running, how long they have running. Okay. These are the started containers that I have running. If I do ps minus a, I can see all the list of containers I have in my Docker machine. Docker images allows me to see what images I am running now. If you can see, I have here a Redis image, and this Redis image, if I do a Docker ps minus a, I have many instances of this same Redis image. I have Redis here, which is Redis 3, Redis 2. Also, geofencing cache is also a Redis image. So I can create many instances of this same image. Okay, so I have rm, which is a command you can use for delete some containers, Dockerized 2, for example, RMI, which is a command I can use for delete images. Same structure that the other one. I have the Docker build. Docker build is a command you can use for create images. Okay, so I'm going to see my editor. I'm going to see a Docker file, which I need to create an image. Okay, so in order to create an image, I need to use a Docker build, and a Docker build needs a Docker file, which will allow you to like write the commands that you need to create in order to create this image. For example, here I have a Docker file which is going to use Maven. It's going to copy some files to this environment. Also, it's going to run some commands. We need to create Maven Teradata drivers. And also, we have here this command, which is going to package in this case, Java app. Once is make this, we are going to use another image, which is the OpenJDK, which is going to allow us to run this Java this Java application. Okay. So in order to create this, I'm going to show you how the command run. I'm not going to build finally because I have already done, and it's going to take a lot of time. Okay, so I'm going to run this. So here, you can see here I have two Docker files. I have one Docker file for production, which is this Docker file, and I have one Docker file for developing. I'm going to show you how we work with developing environment, because one of the great things we did in PayPal is that because we have a lot of components in those projects, we needed to create an environment in one where the developer can just with a command run everything that he needs to start to develop the project, because otherwise he needs to run every project has a separate things and install many libraries on the machine. This Docker file or this Docker file dev allows you to just run one command and create everything that you need in order to the developing process. Okay, so build to sorry, this is a specific image. Okay, so I'm going to make a build -t This is going to be geofencing API v3 as example, v3. And I add dot because I'm going to get this Docker file from this folder that I'm going to use that Docker file. In case I need another Docker file, I need to use -f to add the Docker file dev and the dot because I'm going to build in this file, in this file. So some reason it's not working on here.
The -f.
-f. I'm going to, yeah, that one. Thank you. So in this process, it's going to make all the instructions that are in the Docker file. For example, you have here all the instructions, and it's going to make all the instructions here, and it's going to create a new tag version here. So if I ask for my image, now I can see I have it here. Okay. So this image is going to be then a container. Okay. So this one is start stop, or which make me start or stop a container. It's not a one. And I have here which is a stat, and I can see which resources are using my containers. I have here all these containers running. I can see live how much memory are using, and CPU are using, etc. Okay, so all those things. Also, I have this Dockerized. Dockerized is a command you can use for go into a container. For example, if I want to run some queries on an ESQL container or see what keys I have on a Redis container, I can use this command in order to enter to the container and see what is happening on the container. I'm going to enter now on the geofencing cache, which is a Redis container. Okay, so now I'm inside of the container. I can see, for example, some files, the dump file that it's using now. I'm going to make a Redis CLI, which is the command to enter to the console of the Redis. And now I can pull the Redis key. Okay, so I can see now the Redis key that I have on my container. Okay. I'm going to exit of both. Can use also Docker logs. For example, if I want to see the logs, what is happening on the logs of my container, I can use this one. For example, I'm going to use Docker log geofencing server -f to see the following logs or the live logs. So I can see what is running out on my container now. If I make like an update of this, I can see all the logs that are running now. Okay, I guess it is all this. So that is basically all the commands you can use. There is more commands. You can see the Docker reference that there is many other command you can use, but this is like the mainly if you want to develop on Docker. Okay, so as I say before, there is many containers you can search on Docker Hub. For example, I have here the MySQL container. Okay, so you use this command docker pull in order to get the container, which is going to create an image. This image, you can create many containers as you want. Okay, there is also some instructions here to run the containers, and there is more in order to customize something of the container. Maybe you want to add a password, or maybe you want to add an initial database. You can run some commands in order to create this customized image. Also, you can create your own image. Here, by example, I have an image of a project I have, which is in Docker Hub. It takes my repo on GitHub, and it built internally this container. If I want to pull it, I make the same pull that I show you in MySQL, and I can run it locally using that pull and using this build, okay, that I have here. There is also, I can see no, there is no new tags. Okay, so I can see if, by example, the Docker could build my project, or if it's canceled, run again. If I want to run again this project, if I make a change on the master master branch of my repo, is going to auto deploy again here. So I'm going to have updated my project. Okay, so how can use this for dev environment? As example, as I said before, in paper we needed to make all these apps together in one project in order to not to build this by separate. So we use, like I said before, Docker Compose, which is a configuration document that allows you to make or create many services in one file, and it's going to auto deploy all these services as the instruction are here. For example, here we have a geofencing client for dev, and geofencing client in this case has a property which allow you to make to run the, for example, React with npm start, and if you make a change on the project, it's going to be reflected on the container. Okay, so here, if I see the Docker file, okay, the Docker file has this property, which is going to make the installation of the package. Is going to copy the files and expose on the 3000 port and make the npm run start. The property which allows you to make like a mirror of what you are, this volume is here. So I am telling that in this volume that this this folder client is going to be the same that is in the container that uses user source client, which is the same folder that I use to work on my container. So if I make some changes here, for example, I'm going to make a little chain. Okay, I'm going to make some changes here. Just a minute. I'm going to make a chain view. I'm going to make a chain here. If you can see, this is the logs. Now RAG is compiling. And if I make that, see that chain should be right here. Amazing in on overview and on overview. Okay. Okay, so here, if you see, you can see I made a chain and the chain is here. So this allows you to make an all-in-one application in order to also make developing. Not if you, by example, if you don't have Java on your or Maven on your laptop, you don't need it with this Docker, because Docker is making this all in these images on the containers. So you don't have to install extra things on your laptop. All is in this Docker environment, and it make it easier because just with one command you can run all this project. Okay, you can run all the project, and you don't need to make like maybe a Maven an npm star, or have an SQL on your machine. This make that everything is contained on this, just in these containers. Okay, so okay, what we can do, and this like all I can say that you can see that we can make. If you have any question, just let me know. Thank you.
I have a question, Ricardo.
Yes.
Well, first of all, thank you for the introduction to Docker, because it's always the lacking point or the point of discussion. But would you use Docker in production, or do you rather use only during development? Because you talked a lot about the advantages in development, but we don't know about the production.
You can use this in both. I think it's good for both. You can the main solution that makes you Docker is the resources solution. Instead of make many virtual machines that you need to configure one by one, you have here predefined images that you can use, and these images are used for the thing you need. If you need to make a node server, you have a node image. If you need an SQL container, you have an image for SQL, just for SQL. You don't need to make all the configuration on everyone. And also, if you want to make a customized configuration, you can use simple commands in order to make that configuration. You don't need to make like the configuration by yourself. You just need to make maybe a batch file, and the Docker take that batch file and it make the configuration. So I think it's good. It's a good idea for production.
Okay, I was probably thinking more about the platform as a service model that we use right now to deploy the infrastructure, where
Yeah, I think
has an infrastructure.
Go, Ricardo.
Yeah. If you the advantage for example for make production and in case you want to make a continuous integration is that because you have all these commands like automatized, you just need to run these commands, and if you want to make an dev environment or a QA environment, it's going to be faster than make it like one by one using a batch command, or using one for like the front end, one the back end, one for APA. That I think is the most advantage that I have on production. Also, the performance is way better than use the virtual machines alone, one by one.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ricardo.
Ricardo, I have a question.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
I know that this talk is about Docker, but have you reviewed Kubernetes, or have you took a look there?
I am reviewing Kubernetes by now because it's the next things I want to learn, because the Gluster thing is a solution that is interesting, and I think I have not an opinion now for Kubernetes, but I think it's going to be a really good idea. It's also a good idea, as I really know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Kubernetes right now is the most adopted technology for these containers and this way to deploy applications. But what is interesting is the migration from Docker to Kubernetes. I think that there are some existing tools for that, but that's also an interesting thing to consider. And there's another tool which is Terraform. Basically, it's a tool for creating infrastructure, but just coding infrastructure. You can create your instances in AWS or Azure, and it's like a top layer or an extra layer in this kind of virtualization or provisioning tools. That is also pretty interesting to review.
Yeah.
Good talks for our time also. Like if somebody wants to learn and share with the others, like that would be amazing.
We have some applications deployed using Docker. When you are working in production, things are not that simple. You have to consider more things, and also the stack. Maybe you need like load balancers or more services or containers working together. After a lot of work and understanding on how Docker works, the applications are running, but it's not that straightforward. Sounds like an easy solution, and I really like the approach or the concept of having the same environment in your local machine than the environment you will have in production. But when you are working with real stuff, it's not that straightforward, and you have to consider more stuff, and it's kind of difficult at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Is somebody has any other question for Ricardo? I have one.
I have something to ask to add to this talk. I have worked with Docker before. I really liked it. You can integrate the image register with, for example, GitHub or GitLab, and there you can have the image for every application, and you can create or use that image from the Docker Compose. And it's really, for example, if you want to share I mean, if you do develop an application and you want that application to be used by another developer, you can just upload that image to a register, and the other developer can just download that register and use that application without any issue. So I really liked it. And actually you can integrate Docker with Kubernetes. That is what my understanding. I mean, Docker is a really big tool to make us manage many applications. And there is a lot to learn about this. So yeah, that's what I just wanted to add that.
Thanks, Pedro.
I have a question. Actually, I would like Ricardo maybe to share his opinion on these. I think as Pedro was saying, it's a great solution. But what's your take when it comes to a production-ready application? Do you think it is really worth having the database in a container? I don't believe so, keeping in mind that the restoration and continuity. What is your take on that?
I think it's depend. It's depend if it's a database that you're working with high volumes, like we use in paper with Teradata. I think it's not a good idea. It's not really a good idea because you are going to make it slower the project.
Okay.
So in that case, you need to use external. But also I think I am not sure about that, but you can use external containers and link one Docker machine with another Docker machine. I think that is possible. So you can make it like this all environment and make one machine for your database, and no more than that.
Okay, that's interesting. Because if you really think that you need to take backups and be ready for disaster, it's not that easy as restoring the application from GitHub. In this case, you need to have different processes to restore the production application back to the previous state. So it's interesting, at least, to think about it.
Yeah.
Nice. I have a question, Ricardo, about the development part. Maybe it's not only for you, but for the people that have been working with the containers that you created. Like, how was the experience? Like right now, like it's good. There were a lot of like friction to get started, or was it was okay? Like and like a corollary, like would you start like using directly in day one, like Docker for like setting up in a new project?
I think when we started to make the Docker the Docker part for the develop, also I was not clear about how to integrate all the project, and with the commands of uh, the team, we created a more like robust solution for developing. At the first time was like just for React, but we have been integrated more like more for the other part, like Redis or Java. The first time was not easy because explain how to work with Docker was something difficult, but in order to make it easier, we create a batch I have here. Let me show you. I create this batch which have like custom commands to build the dev environment, the production, start and stop, make see the logs. So the team has not to use the Docker commands. Just run this batch, and it's going to make the magic for you. So I think in that path, we try to make it easier than just use Docker commands.
Nice. If nobody says anything of the team, like I will assume that like things are very easy, as you said.
Yeah, well, for example, for me at the beginning, I didn't have any experience like working with database or many things. So for me, Docker made it really easy because it's just importing that image to my Docker Compose and just running it. And with the command that I can enter the container of the database and just upload there the new data or the table for the database. I mean, I didn't have any experience with databases, but Docker really made it really simple for me at that time.
I think that you were referring to the PayPal team, Matthias.
Yeah, for the team that have worked with Docker.
Yeah, I think for me at least, when we started to use the, okay, we made like an API in Java, and I don't develop in Java, so I didn't have anything to run the API. So I think Ricardo built the Docker for that that API, and we were able to run the API in our local machines, and that improved a lot the communication, because if not, we had to be in the VPN and I don't know, a lot of things. And it's great. I mean, we also used, at least for me, we also used it for some other projects and in Sendata, and so a quiz that we built for Nerdearla, and I think it's great. I mean, you don't have to have anything more than just the one Git repo with all the application in the same repo, and it's pretty straightforward.
Awesome stuff. Okay, I think we're fine. Thanks a lot, Ricardo. This was a great talk, and thanks everybody. And we see each other next week again. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, bye.
Thanks, Ricardo.
Thank you. Bye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye.